All right, welcome to the conversation on Morning Spring. Today, we'll be analyzing the 2 years in office of Governor Ademola Adeleke, 2 years of occupying the Bolaige House, and from economic development to infrastructure to health to education. We'll be examining the governor's policies and the impacts it has made in the last 2 years, looking critically at the challenges and also lessons learned from his administration, what he has done, what he is not doing, what he should be doing at the time, and what people are requesting of him at this time. We are joined in the studios this morning by someone from his side, I should say. We have Honorable Oladele Bamiji, the Senior Special Assistant on Media to Governor Ademola Adeleke. Good morning to you, sir, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Mark. Good morning, West
So,
Television.
thank you. I'd like to say, how do you feel that your principal has spent 2 years in office? That's you being his appointee, and also as a party man. The PDP, the People's Democratic Party, has held on to the ruling party in the state for 2 years. How do you feel? How does it feel for you?
Thank you very much. I feel good. There's one promotion like that. I feel good. So I feel good. I mean, I thank God Almighty. But before going further, I want to thank the good people of Osun State for standing by their choice these past 2 years. In democracy, if you don't have the support of the people, no matter the kind of plan you have, you may not be able to achieve it, or those plans may not be able to come to the fore because they are not supporting you. If the governor had been railroaded in the first instance, if he has not been truly elected by the good people of Osun State, we might not even be here celebrating the 2 years in office. So it is not just that we are celebrating the achievement of Governor Ademola Adeleke in 2 years. We are also celebrating the good people of Osun State. They deserve celebration for their support, for being unique in the Nigerian polity, that when Osun people speak, they stand by their words. And that is why we are celebrating this time. That yes, let us showcase what we have done and celebrate. And so personally, to answer your question, as an appointee of His Excellency, I'm proud to be part of the journey so far.
Yeah.
I'm proud to be part of a man who loves God, who breathes the air of the love of God and the fear of the Almighty. I am a Christian. I love the Muslim part of him. I love the Christian part of him. He's a liberal man. I love working with such a man for this past 2 years. So personally, I'm proud.
Yeah.
I'm good. But don't let me forget too, having congratulated the good people of Osun State for making the right choice 2 years down the line. I also want to congratulate the Rave family.
Thank you.
The WSTP family for coming this far too.
Yeah.
9 years is not a joke.
Sure.
Evelyn, you are also part of the success story so far.
Thank you.
If I want to come here, I used to remember Evelyn, that doyen of rave, that doyen of Western Spring Television.
I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you, Honorable.
So I congratulate this family. Thank you for shaping our polity. Thank you for making you the subject of attack at times. Like last week or so, thereabout, people were all over me. You are the director of media. You are this to Mr. Governor. There's this argument on FFM and all that. Someone was brought to attack the governor.
We're just doing our job.
I told them, please, you are just doing your job. They recorded the program and sent it to me. You have to take action. You have to do this. Because I understand what your job should be.
Yeah.
Yes, I did my own. I have to apply my political sense and apply my professional sense too. And I make bold to say that you are doing well.
Thank you.
This partner years, you deserve our commendation, and on behalf of the government, led by our governor, His Excellency, Governor Ademola Adeleke, I congratulate you. I congratulate our brother, one of the finest we have in Osun State, the ambassador of Igbomina Kingdom, Dr. Femi Adefila, and all of you.
Thank you.
In this family.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Honorable Bamiji. Now, there are people who believe that, you know, they've asked the question, is there anything to celebrate? You know, you mentioned earlier, while answering that question of how you feel that Governor Ademola Adeleke is a man who loves God. And, you know, he was described as, and he's even still been described as a dancing governor. People believe that Governor Ademola Adeleke would celebrate even for nothing because is a joyful man that just loves to celebrate. So they believe this 2 years anniversary is just one of those celebrations of nothing. But because the governor loves to celebrate, is a joyful man, so he's celebrating, but there is really nothing to celebrate. How do you react to that?
Well, you don't have to be mimicking the devil advocates.
I'm just telling you what people are saying. I mean, we have to feel the pulse of people.
I'm not even referring to you as the devil advocate.
Yes.
We are referring to those who have been confined to the dustbin of opposition in the state. They have to do their job. We don't have a choice. They have to be seen to say something. Yeah. And that is the job placed on their hands at this time by the good people of Osun State. By the grace of God, I'm very, very sure, and as attested to by the good people of Osun State, that the governor has surpassed even the expectations of so many. It is not a crime to be joyful, as you put it. It is not a crime to be a happy man. Yeah. That you are in the position of authority does not mean that you have to be sadistically egocentric all the time. Let people see you as the boss. Let me put on this Abacha-like of look. Let them know I'm the boss. No. Democracy does not connote that. You have to mix your way.
But is there anything to celebrate?
Yes, so many things to celebrate. The governor came into office on the premise of 5-point agenda, top of which is the welfare of the workers. That came to being because of his conversation with the Osun State politics as a whole. Yeah. What do we have to do first? And that is why he placed that agenda, placed that on the as topmost on his agenda. Yeah. Because if you take care of workers in Osun State, it is not just because you love them. You are taking care of so many things at the same time. You are taking care of the economy. You are taking care of so many homes. That is where we find ourselves today. And that is why it is easy for the governor. Hey, let me look at the backlog of salaries pulled by the previous administration. They don't have any reason to do that. But yes, for whatever reason, during their time, they felt that they have to butcher the take-home pay of our people, brothers and sisters, papas and mamas, who have served, especially their state with their dark hairs, but are now are made to suffer through their gray hairs. All right. So the governor felt that those 30 months plus must be paid. Okay. Well, we were heading to a point where those 30 months were going to be signed off. All right.
Bamiji, let me pause your thoughts there, because we have in the studios this morning your friend. I should put it that way.
My friend.
Kehinde Ayantunji is in the house. To former Governor OYETOLA. How are you doing today? Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Evelyn. Thank you so much.
Honorable Bamiji has always said that you have to pay a fine for always coming late, so you might have to pay it today.
You always come late.
That's by the way. Let me move over quickly to Honorable Ayantunji. I'll pause your thoughts, Honorable Bamiji. Now, Mr. Ayantunji, your party is in opposition, and it seems the APC went missing in action for the very first year Governor Ademola Adeleke was in the saddle, and people have credited that to the fact that the person who is the leader of your party, that's former Governor OYETOLA, who is now Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, got appointed as minister by President Bola Tinubu, and so party loyalists focused on Abuja instead of focusing on Osun State, as it were. But it seems the APC is alive to its responsibility as opposition. So I'll put that out there. You might want to react to that. But I'd like you to tell us what you think of Governor Ademola Adeleke's 2 years in office.
Well, thank you, Evelyn. And I want to congratulate the people of Osun State. At least if there's anything we have achieved as a state, democracy is revolving.
Okay.
And we are also having a very peaceful transition from PDP to APC, from APC to PDP. That's a reflection of democratic development, and that the state is growing democratically. And that is why when you see any government in power, they sit very tight, because they know that the vote of the people really can't this time around. So I congratulate the people of Osun State for that. But having said that, it will be unfair and it will be hypocritical to say that the governor has not done anything in the last 2 years. But as our party rightly said yesterday, the admission of distinguished Senator Ademola Adeleke Jackson is like a motion without a movement. And when you see some of the fantasy they showcase as an achievement, you wonder whether government can stand in isolation. Because the difference between government and any other institution is law, process, and procedure. And that's why governance has a standard of evaluation. So in the last 2 years, if you look at the resources that has accrued to the state, vis-a-vis the performance of the governor, the projects that they have done so far, you will have no hesitation to conclude that it's a government with motion without a movement. And when you also look at the threshold of governance, which is transparency and accountability, you also agree with me that this government is a government with motion without movement, because some of the institutions of government, that is executive, legislative, judiciary, and some other executive institutions like Office of the General, Bureau of Public Procurement, they are not there for fun. They are there as a government institution to ensure that we have transparency and accountability. Most of these institutions are just like a paperweight that are not functioning. So when you look at that, you will also rate the present administration better in that regard. And let us also talk about communal peace, harmony in the state, which is fundamental, because we can only thrive as the people in an atmosphere of peace. We can only thrive as a state in an atmosphere of solidarity, because the founding father of Osun knew that Osun is an urban state. You understand? I doubt if there is any state in this country that has the qualities, the unique qualities of Osun, because in Osun that you see a very big town across the state. You see Ejigbo, you see Iwo, these are big communities. And what we have been enjoying is communal peace, solidarity, and spirit of oneness.
Is the peace in Osun threat?
Yes, I'm coming. But this administration, when you look at the last 2 years, it's like this administration is setting the entire state against one community.
How? Which
is Ede. Yes, I'll begin to analyze it. For the first day that Governor Ademola came into power, that was the day siblings, families were set against themselves because of the traditional stool. The monarch controversy in Ikinu today, the stool is vacant. It's not only vacant by accident, it was kept vacant as a sort of violence. You understand? Perceived to be instigated by the executive order of Governor Ademola Adeleke. Go to Igbajo, go to Ire, and many other communities like that. Like we're lost. You understand? Up to today, those communities are not stable. You see siblings puffing like a ram in that community. And you are also experiencing what is happening now. The controversy that surrounded the relocation of Idu-Osun, you understand, airports to Ede. This is a very serious issue that we are contending it, and we pray that God will give Governor Ademola Adeleke wisdom to manage the issue, because some of us doesn't have any other states except Osun State. Okay. And when you look at the lopsidedness of the political appointment, you understand, and even the civil service appointment, we can say there's 40 to 50% of all appointments in the state. That is not the spirit. That was not the intention of the founding father of this state. Are you getting me now? Yeah. So when you now come to the transparency aspect of it, it is this government that they will do any project without process and procedure. As of today, we insist and we still maintain and we still challenge them to provide the record that the flyover that they are constructing in Okefia and Lameku were not advertised up to today. And when we challenge the commissioner for information, they brought an advertisement which was published in September, and that advertisement was a reminder. And when you are issuing a reminder, that means there must be an original procurement advertisement. Up to today, we are still challenging them that bring out that copy of newspaper where you advertise. That is what they call transparent, and that is why we are not surprised where the Vitalizer company were winning the contract of billions of naira as a road contractor. So that's why we are not surprised that those who won the contract, you understand, were favorites of the current government. No, we have no problem about that. But our problem was that, okay, do they have the competency? So because it's a public fund, and one of the principles is that there must be transparency and accountability. But so far so good, you cannot say the governor has not done his own.
Okay, I'd like to ask you, Mr. Ayantunji, when you wanted to start your statement, you mentioned the fact that you cannot say, and also the APC cannot say, that Governor Ademola Adeleke has not done something. So I'd like you to actually pinpoint the things you think he has done. Yes, you have made some issues of the things he is not doing, and we are going to, cross-examine, we're going to interrogate those issues. But I just want you to pinpoint some of the things you feel Governor Ademola Adeleke has done in the last 2 years. Yes,
we are responsible opposition.
Okay.
And the fact that we are an opposition party does not mean that we should not see the good aspect of any government. You cannot deny the fact that in Osogbo today, Governor Ademola Adeleke is constructing roads. We might have issues about the cost. We might have issues about the quality. We might have issues about the durability of those projects. But definitely, all of us are going to be the beneficiary of those projects. In Osogbo here, we have 2 or 3 instances of roads that Governor Ademola.
So Adeleke, are you saying you're commending a project that is not durable, that is expensive, outrageously expensive, and that is considered a threat to life? Because you mentioned the durability, and of course, if it's not durable, if it's not up to standards, then the lives of Osun State people are at risk. Are you commending such a project? No,
there are 2 different things. What I'm saying is this: it's like when you are not blind, when you have your eyes seeing what somebody is doing, you say it. You might have issue with what that person is doing, but you have to acknowledge that, okay, this man is doing this, although in a very different way, although in a substantial way. For instance, now look at the continuation of Obadesoji Adedemi road from Okebale to Elisha Garage. Go and witness it. The moment they are turning the road was even bad. Few weeks later, you understand, they are repairing the road last week. They were repairing the road last week.
So the quality is questionable.
Yes, the quality is questionable,
Right.
and those are the issues. So
Right.
you cannot say Governor Adeleke has not done. Yes, he has not done many things, but at least within this limited power, he has done few things, and that's why I said you can't give what you don't have. Because governance stands on fundamental principles, and when those fundamental principles are missing, definitely you cannot get it right, and that is the point we are making.
Okay, let me move over to Honorable Bamiji. You have listened to what your friend Mr. Ayantunji has said, and I'll ask you the question: why is Governor Ademola Adeleke the governor of Ede and not the governor of Osun State? Why is he concentrating on Ede, that is his country home, rather than, you know, ensuring that the dividends of democracy is spread across all boards equally? You know, instead of putting more in Ede, we have the issue of the airport being relocated from Idu-Osun to Ede and some other projects too. So how do you respond to that?
Yes, thank you very much. I welcome my friend again, the perpetual latecomer to this kind of program.
You had to put that out.
I congratulate you too on the birthday of your heartthrob. May she live long.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, you see, my friend, it's difficult. This guy is very brilliant, but you see, it is not easy to be brilliant in error. You know, when you are in a kind of opposition in Osun State, you are perpetually confined to error. You just have to say something. Governor Ademola Adeleke is doing something, but he's doing it this way, he's doing it that way. But they have been forced. Even Ayantunji, as vociferous as he is in opposition, is here to acknowledge the fact that our governor is doing something.
Well, it's questioning the quality of the projects by your governor.
Let me. He will question. If he doesn't question it, that why is he here? That means he should be with his wife celebrating.
Okay.
Let me start from the question of why is the governor of Ede? I don't know where that is coming from. First of all, let us expunge this insinuation that because someone comes from a particular town, that town should be banished from development. Perhaps just as they neglected Ede when they were there, because they perceived the fact that Ede has been a stronghold of the PDP. They have nothing doing there except appointing 3-4 commissioners.
So you're accusing the APC of neglecting Ede while they were in the
I'm
saddle?
not accusing that. It's a statement of fact. You can bring out what they did in Ede aside appointing some people.
Mr. Ayantunji, is it true that your administration...
You don't. I'm not sure you have to
sidelined
give him
Ede?
When he has his time.
No, it's a yes or no. I'll come back to you.
That's not correct.
Okay.
So if a governor comes from Ede, that does not now mean that, because Ede has been apportioned the governorship seat of the state, and that town must be expunged from development. That would be wicked. As of today, there are so many towns, there are so many local governments that are benefiting from the developmental programs of the state. Even while I was coming to this state, to this station this morning, I wouldn't know. I couldn't get to this place with my car. I have to park Avarov because a developmental project is going on here. I don't know whether this place is also Ede. I don't know whether the developmental strides at the state university, Osun, is also in Ede. My friends should know all that. What the government has done, the buildings, the hospital, the gigantic hospital being built for that institution. I don't know whether that is also in Ede. I don't know in Ila, where you have like 3 commissioners, where you have a House of Representatives, where you have a Senate in the same town of Ila alone. I don't know whether that is also in Ede, because he spoke about appointment. Don't let us because we don't know what to say. Say that everything now belongs to Ede in terms of development. No, no, that would be wicked. on the good people of that axis of the state. That is even an insult on them. Yes, they are doing all this now. They are struggling to say they want to stage a comeback. I'm very sure, unless they want to say that, let them go to hell. We don't need their food. Why must you be castigating them? It's like, I'm not sure I remember a point, a time when I came here, either here or any other media station, castigating the former governor for coming from Irabiji. It is, I don't want to, it sounds somehow. In 2024 Nigerian going forward, that you say because somebody comes from somewhere, that place must not be developed. That place with 2 local governments, that place with ancestral history of Yoruba to Yoruba land. And so the place must be neglected wholesale because the governor comes from there. That is not, you spoke about the airport. I don't want to speak much on that because I'm very sure a technical personnel will address that even today on one of your platforms. That you see our people from Ido-Osun, Yoruba will say want to buy one loju, but maybe because they went to sleep. Airport is not just a motor park that you just establish overnight and go to sleep.
But Ido-Osun had been designated for the airport before the administration of Governor Ademola Adeleke.
It has been designated, but why has it not been made an airport before today? There have been 2 successive administrations of APC before now, before we even begin to talk of a 2-year-old administration of PDP. We must, by now, if we are living in a sane society, if there will be any protest from Ido-Osun, they should get their cane, get this kind of my friend, beat him very well.
That's violence.
Yeah, no, this is not violent. Because you will ask, why don't we have airport in Ido-Osun before now? Within 2 successive administrations in Osun State.
So what informed your decision to move it from Ido? I mean, just give us the details.
I just mentioned that establishing airport is not a tea party.
We know.
If we are celebrating today that we have reduction in hear mishaps, there is a reason for that. And that is observing and respecting safety measures as regards establishment of airports. Today, Nigeria doesn't joke with, if it is just an inch of safety measures pertaining to establishment of airport. And that will tell you that it is not just a state thing that you want to establish airport. Let me just get the bulldozer and get a runway as low as it might be. I took off from Ibadan some time ago. Somebody sat beside me, and when the airplane took off, that man maybe is well versed in aviation thing, and he was like, this runway needs to be extended. The man said it the way the plane took off from Ibadan. And today, so I reflect to what that man said. Today, Ibadan runway is being extended. That is safety measure. You don't want to compromise safety of human beings. It will not be a pride, a joyful thing, a thing of joy for our people, for a territory like Ido-Osun too. They say that they have an airport and they begin to record accidents. Here, accident is not a joke.
So it's a safety measure.
It's all. I've summarized it. Yeah. You will hear it from our technical person who is a member of that committee addressing that issue this morning.
Yeah.
But for me, that is how I summarize it.
Safety measures.
Safety measures and puncturing the political trap set against the people of Ijudu.
What do you
by
mean
our people?
by political trap?
If because they put them to sleep. They sedated the people of Ijudu while they were. You want to establish an airport in a particular location, and that same location you deemed fit to cede for the establishment of a Air Force base. When you go to Ibadan, for instance, there is hardly from Alaki Adegbai, there is hardly, no matter how porous Ibadan is, you hardly feel any kind of erection that can distort the taking off and landing of airplanes in Ibadan airport. That's part of the safety measures. You within the vicinity of a airport, everywhere must be safe.
Okay.
Now that is the same space where the former governor OYETOLA ceded for the establishment of a Air Force base. For the establishment of a airport.
Honorable Bamiji, you have cited safety measures as the reason for the relocation of the airport from Idu-Osun to Ede. For the relocation of the airport from Idu-Osun. But there are questions as to why must it be Ede?
No.
There are other. Why can't it be Ilesha? Why can't it be Ife?
Ede.
Why not another place entirely?
It is not just Ede. Check around Nigeria. Yes, it is not just in Ede. If we want to host the first man in Nigeria today, he will land in Osogbo. That is one of the considerations. If we want to hold our Baba, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, it is safer, less costly to host him very close to Osogbo. Check around. That is the norm. And this yes, the new site now, it is not just because because our people don't have any other job than to put Eden on a spot. It is all about Ede. The expanse of land allocated for this new airport now, expands from Ede down to Ijesa territory, and therefore bringing those people from that axis too on board. But let us even assume without considering that it is even in Ede. Ede, by proximity and all that, I don't know whether there is any Ede and Osogbo, they are like doing this our age-long folklore. Adendele or Nokiti, they are just holding themselves, playing under the moon. They are like brothers and sisters.
You're citing the proximity of Ede to Osogbo as another reason.
That it is even one of the basic reasons. Yes, you want, let's say, God forbid, there is an emergency for the president of Nigeria to come to Osun. So you first of all go to, meanwhile, the governor did not, the committee saddled with the responsibility of establishing that airport. They didn't just stop at just taking the site to Osu as the main site. Right. They also looked around. Where can they get the standards being put forward by technical officers? Mark my word, technical officers of Ministry of Aviation. That's why I told you, establishing a airport is not just what you say. Oh, I'm chief executive of RAFE, and so I want to establish a helipad or airport here. There are safety standards that must be met, including that international organization. Because yes, anybody can come through the air to Osun, and we don't want any sad story to emanate from our own end. Let us meet the standards, and let's go take the rest.
Let me pause your thoughts there. Let me move over to Mr. Ayantunji. You've been listening intensely to what Honorable Bamiji has been saying. We have to move on to other issues like health and education, by the way. But I just wanted you to react to what he has said concerning the relocation of the airport from Idu-Osun to Ede. He cited safety measures, and he says these were not just put together or concocted together by the cabinet of Mr. Governor. He says it has to do with professionals. A technical committee was set up consisting of professionals who looked at it and said, no, we cannot have this airport at Osun. And Ede is, the proximity of Ede to Osun will also inform the choice of Ede. How do you react to that?
Thank you so much. Let me first say this because my very good brother is trying to create an impression that our party always criticize whatever goes to Ede. I think they can never love Ede like us, and they can also never love the family the way we love the Adeleke family. If you are talking about the pillar of that family, it still remains late Senator Isiaka Adeleke. When PDP rejected him in 2014, you understand? We accepted him wholeheartedly, and we restore the political potency of that dynasty as a party. We must take note of that. So it is not the question of whether, but the question we're asking is this. And you should remember, in 2018, when Governor Ademola Adeleke came into power, one of the first towns and cities that he constructed road was Ede. It's still there. Barracks to Kegada. Okay. The road is still there today. And the argument is this. We have more than 50 towns in Osun that are calling for infrastructural development. So you cannot, because you come from Ede and now concern virtually everything. It's obvious. You can see it. It's very, very obvious. Go to the civil service today. Ask about the numbers of the permanent secretary that are from Ede. Go and look at the political appointments. Ask for the numbers of the SSCSA that are from Ede. You understand? Whereas what we are talking about is that you must not, because you are a governor, and begin to abuse office.
On
so no, please, let's
you have mentioned that before.
So
unless we have all the time here.
No, don't interrupt me. You understand? Don't interrupt. I'm very fast when it's come to discussion like this, and that's why I say, as a professional, I don't interject. I see it as an indecent conduct. When you interject, allow him to discuss, and when you finish your thought, I will also respond, because I have time to respond. So on the issue of the airport, you should notice one thing about this government. They have one unique quality. The moment they have what they want to do, they will work towards answer. When they wanted to remove the rector of Hospital Kiri and replace him with an Edema, there was no manner of allegation that was not leveled against that man. You understand? Just to remove him and install their own man from Ede, they broke all manner of rules and procedure. You should also remember, fairly recently, that when they want to deal with the former governor, you understand, by destroying his legacy, if not that we made so much noise, you understand, they came out with the infrastructural deficiency of Ohiolei flyover. Until we said, okay, let us even see your report. Up to today, and I challenge him here, up to today, they have not presented any technical report about that bridge. Yes, they have erected the barricade that prevented heavy truck, you understand? But what I'm saying in essence is that your tongue must not be faster, you understand, than the reason. That is you have. For instance, now, it is when you announce that you are relocating the airport to Ede that you begin to roll out the report of your technical committee. What should come out first is the report of your technical committee as a basis for relocation. You should know that this airport has history. You understand? It was there since 1932. And what you are saying is that all the previous administration, Ohiolei, Aregbesola, OYETOLA, they were stupid. You understand? For allowing the airport to stay there. Look, Federal Ministry of Aviation are the regulating authority of aviation.
Good.
We have not seen a report from Federal Ministry of Aviation today that airport cannot work. Secondly, there is an Air Force base there today. When you are talking about authority, when it's come to airport or airstrike, Air Force should be the better authority, because they fight war on the air. You understand? They are in charge of air armament. They are in charge of warplane, and they cannot be stupid to also locate their base there if the place is not safe for aircraft to land and fly safely. You understand? So what we are saying in essence is this: why are you just coming about technical report after announcing? If people are not making noise now, you understand, you wouldn't have come out that you have. So please, they will just walk straight to the answer, and that is why we are concerned. And that's one of the issues we have with this administration. Governance is a process. It is not a family affairs. It is not a private business. Governance includes discipline.
So you think Governor Ademola Adeleke is running Osun State as a family affair?
What? Look, how do you describe a situation whereby you want to relocate a airport that the previous administration have invested billions of naira on, and it was after the announcement that you are now coming out with a technical report.
Are you in any way accusing the Adelekes of pocketing Osun State?
What are you? Look, what I'm saying in a sense is this: governance is a process. The moment you don't follow that process, you have turned governance to a private affairs. Because all those institutions, they are not there for fun of it. They are there to perform certain roles.
All right.
And when you don't allow them to perform certain roles, governance has been reduced to mere private business.
Let's move over to agriculture. Honorable Bamiji, you know, the APC produced a statement. They wrote out a statement on the 2 years anniversary celebration of Ademola Adeleke, and also their own fears. They brought out their own statement on different sectors: health, education, infrastructure, and they made mention of agriculture, and they lambasted the governor. According to the statement, they lambasted the governor for wasting the state resources to procure audio tractor. They call it audio tractor, in which 31 out of 114 claimed to have been bought with a whooping sum of 8 billion naira were ridiculously unveiled, as the whereabouts of the said machines are unknown to the people of the state. How do you react to that?
Thank you very much. Still one of those things we are used to with them.
Let's start this way. How many tractors were supposed to be procured?
Over 100 tractors.
How many?
By the grace of God.
Have been bought.
You know, we will not run this government upside like a one-man show that we are used to. Let us just impress people for the sake of it.
Yeah.
No. You do things diligently. You do it as the capacity of the state can cope with. That is what you see in that agri sector. Or you want to fly, you have to have a runway. So first of all, at least take some steps before you begin to fly. Even the airport we are talking about, that's one of the basics that affected the establishment of the airport at the Osun. He mentioned, because I wanted to address that, he mentioned that, you know, the administration expended so many billions of naira. I don't know. After this program, Evelyn, take your cameras, take your cameraman along, go to Osun and establish if a billion, not just how many billions now, if a billion naira has been expended on that site.
Okay.
That is because I continue to question why did we not have airports at Osun if they were not really deceiving the people of that. They have is, to me it appears they had the report in their custody. They knew there was not going to be airport here, and they hid it from our people just because they wanted to affect their folks.
This topic of airports. Let's focus on agriculture.
It will also take us to the agri sector, because when they were there were even tractors procured during the government of our amiable father, the former military general, Ohiolei. They sold all those tractors.
They sold it.
They sold it. They sold all of them. We should have met those ones, repair them, even if they were faulty. So when let's even begin to let's even start from there. That, oh, please, Egbedore, Ayerade, this and that, Ilesha East, Ilesha West. Begin to use this before we come up with our own. But we have to start all over again.
Okay.
All their own was this and that's why they scored 0. Tram, Agric, this and that. And maybe that is why we met 0. We never knew they were even really sending us message that they were 0 government. This, tractor.
I thought
so when we now came.
I mean, you just spin it around.
Just let's keep it like that. Means Osun as well. So when we now came, there's a government does not. You have to set things right before you begin to take off on any program. What do we need to do? How do we start? What do we have? We have nothing in Agric. That is the basics. Now, you now begin to criticize the government that felt that, okay, we need, according to the projections, we need over 100 tractors in Osun State. But can we wait until we are able to procure the whole of the hundreds? No, let us start from this.
So how many
31
do
tractors.
we have now? 31. Where
Yes.
are they?
The,
Are they in use?
what they started before that, we didn't even procure any. We brought them out, unveiled them. But by the time we were unveiling it, we were all brought off by one farmer or the other. My own father, my own late father was a farmer.
Okay.
When it is around June, July, August already, planting season we already know in this part of the world. So why will you be wasting fuel? Why will you be wasting government properties when a season was almost passing away?
So the
that is
tractors
why
are
those
waiting for the next
tractors
planting season.
were being kept.
Okay.
Let's work towards the next planting season with PPP arrangement of this government. Let's put this tractor to effective use, not just because it is good. I'm a media person for this government. It will be good for me. Yeah, let's take one of the tractors to his farm if he has any. Let's go and do some video clips and post. But this government will not deceive anybody like they did in their own time.
We are pressed for time.
Let's enter new planting season, and let's see whether these tractors maybe we should go and keep the tractors in my friend's house so that you will know that the tractors are still intact.
Honorable Bamiji,
my brother, your tractors are still with us.
Honorable
Nothing
Bamiji,
do them.
Yeah, I said the tractors are still available, but they are waiting for the next planting season.
After this program, I can take you there.
We have to go because we are pressed for time, so we have to run. But let me take Mr. Ayantunji's part in short. 2 years of Ademola Adeleke. Do you think it beats 4 years of Governor OYETOLA? And also, in what areas do you think Governor Ademola Adeleke can do better? It's Osun. So irrespective of politics, we are all for Osun people and Osun development. Very quickly.
Yeah, let me first react to the issue of the tractor.
Please, we have less than 1 minute to go. So you have to make it very quick.
Well, the issue of the tractor, they have not been consistent with figures. And one of the issues we have with the tractor is that, okay, yes, it's not a Greek gift, you understand, to the state of Osun. It's a public fund.
Yes.
Let us know the amount you procure this tractor. Up to today, except they will tell us tomorrow. Your PP arrangement, it is through private sector driven initiative. How do you want to do it? Sometimes they say 114, at a period they say 77, at a period they say 31. So that is one of the problems we have with this administration. You understand? Transparency is zero.
Okay.
So, but in essence, yes, when you compare, you have to compare what was the resources that was accrued to the state when OYETOLA was there. You understand? What Adeleke has secured as federal allocation in the last 2 years is more than what is times 2 of what OYETOLA secured in 4 years. But you cannot see there is no presence of those infrastructure in the state. And we always challenge them. Mention one road that has longest distance with Ejigbo to Osogbo that OYETOLA constructed. But they always like to beg question and say, OYETOLA, I don't know whether that inference will be a selling point for their campaign.
What do you think Governor Adeleke should focus on?
Yes, most importantly, Governor Adeleke should prioritize the communal peace and development of Osun.
Okay.
Osun State belongs to all of us. All right. And it must not be seen to belong to a section of the state. Okay. That is the vision of our founding father. And that one must be seriously addressed for future. Because when you sustain that trend, it is dangerous. He said that today, it can be anybody tomorrow.
All right. Thank you so much. We have to promote Osun first. That's what Mr. Ayantunji is saying.
Deliver your message.
And that's the show this morning, people. Thank you for being a worthy companion. And special thanks to Honorable Bamiji for your take, your submission, your thoughts, and also defending the government that you represented.
It's very easy to do. That is when you have a performing governor, it's very easy to do.
Honorable Oladele Bamiji is senior special assistant and media to Governor Ademola Adeleke, and also we have Mr. Kehinde Ayantunji, who is former aide to former Governor Boyega Oyetola. Thank you, gentlemen, for your time this morning on the show.
Thanks for the honor.
All right, people, whatever has a beginning surely must have an end. And we have come to the end of the show this morning. We'll make a return on Monday for an interesting time on Morning Spring. Until then, have yourself a fabulous weekend. Remember, Spring Trends comes up right after this broadcast. My name is Evelyn Ohiolei.